Let's talk about the Western Conference, which I think this is a weak ass conference, like to the point where I think if you look at a team like the Lakers, and I'm not trying to shoot them any bill, if there's any team for them, any time for them not to make the play in, this will be the year. Like I don't really know who should be the favorite. I mean, Oklahoma City, they have a chance to build off what they did last year. I know Isaiah Hartenstein, he's going to be out for a minute, but you still got Shea, you still got that young team who now has playoff experience. Of course, you can't forget about the Mavericks. There was an NBA Finals last year. You got Phoenix. What can Minnesota do? Like, I don't know what that fit is now with Julius Randle. A lot of ugly basketball when you got Rudy Gobert and Julius Randle. Like, that's just like I don't know what that's like. Pavy, what do you think about the Western Conference, and who do you think should be the team that we should look at as a favorite in the West?
I mean, I think it's an interesting conference. I mean, obviously, it's just some random teams. I mean, Memphis should be back. Memphis should be back, and Memphis should be good if Ja, can number one stay fucking away from the guns and also stay healthy. And I think that him missing last year gave other guys it forcefully empowered some other guys to work on the game. Like obviously Desmond Bane. I think Desmond Bane became a little bit better. Jaren Jackson, I think he became better. I'm interested to see what Zach Edey can do. Him being 7, however tall he is. Because Jaren Jackson don't rebound, and I think just the size and presence after Steven Adams fucking got hurt was a huge thing that was missing from them, and even just a guy just setting screens for Ja, something like that. And again, I saw Jaren say apparently I guess he could shoot. Zach Edey, I guess. And also, having Marcus Smart there, I'm interested to see what Phoenix could do. The Kings, I'm interested in the Kings, just them adding DeMar DeRozan. I think one of the main things that they were missing was half-court offense. I think everything with the Kings was like, we're going to get the ball and we're going to run really fast up court. And if we can't do that, I don't know what we're going to do. So I think they'll be interesting. The Mavericks, obviously, you can't count out the Mavericks. I mean, obviously, Luka. Hopefully, Luka.
It's an MVP time for Luka this year.
Yes, I think it's MVP time, but also I think he has to become a better, well-rounded basketball player. I think he has to just try more on defense, bro. Like at least try. Hopefully he comes. I think I saw some earlier in the year where he was in better shape. Now, granted, everybody be in good shape in July and August. Do some for whatever reason when you get on the road, you start ordering room service. You sitting there drinking Gatorade every day. People tend to get a little bit bigger. So hopefully he's in good shape. Obviously you bring Clay. Granted, I know Clay is not the Clay of old, but bro, Clay still shot 38% from 3 last year. I think it was 38%. Like it's not 40 whatever used to be, but Clay can still play basketball. You also bring in Najee Marshall. I like Najee. You get those guys for PJ Washington. Lively year 2, you get those guys in your system for another year. So hopefully that improves the Thunder. Like you said, Hartenstein is out, but they picked up Alex Caruso, which I think is huge for them. I think that Josh Giddey, as far as just in that backcourt with Shea,
we got P. Giddey. By the way, you can't even watch the Bulls if you even want to watch that sad product because they don't have to deal with the biggest cable operator in Chicago area. They do not have a deal with Xfinity. These niggas are sending out antennas to if you don't because they ain't got a deal with YouTube TV. So I'm like, dude,
they don't have a deal with YouTube TV.
No, they have a deal with Direct TV streaming. So like you have to go out. So that means no Bulls, no Blackhawks, no White Sox. Now, granted,
you don't need to watch them teams. You don't need to watch them teams.
At least the Blackhawks have LeBron James on skates. At least there's something you can watch with them niggas. You don't want to see the White Sox and the Bulls anyway. But go ahead.
But adding Caruso to that backcourt, I also did some numbers. If I'm not mistaken, I think Caruso is like 38% from the corners, which is which playing with Shea, who's gonna have the ball, also playing with Jalen Williams and those guys who are gonna have the ball. You're gonna do a lot of corner 3-point shooting. So and again, picking up Hartenstein, hopefully he comes back healthy. But the main thing that they were missing was Chet Holmgren was getting assaulted on the boards in the playoffs. So now at least you got some more toughness. Also, you can run different lineups. Like, Chet is a guy, he can shoot the ball. I think he shot, I forget what it was from 3, but you could do Hark at the 5, you could do Chet at the 4, Jalen, Caruso, and Shea, and just give yourself a bigger lineup. So I do think that and Phoenix, like granted, obviously, do I expect Phoenix to win a championship? No. I think it's probably the end of the line for all these guys like LeBron, KD, Steph, as far as winning.
Already trying to get his second career going. You see, as far Adams show all the time.
Yeah, as far as winning championships goes, but They did address the point guard issue. They got Tyus Jones. They also got Monty Moore. Again, it's your second year with these guys. I forget who the coach is. Frank Vogel, which is an interesting
Well,
thing.
no, they took
got
his
rid of
ass
Vogel,
out,
didn't
and
You're right. Yeah.
it's
Who's the coach?
Budenholzer.
Budenholzer.
Yeah.
Which is also really interesting
How
because
you go
I've
mid on
always
mid?
known. No. I just always known Mike to be a kind of a defensive coach, and you put him with an offensive team, but maybe he can make them better defensively. I don't know, whatever. So I do expect them to be better. Again, I don't expect them to win anything for real, but I do expect them to be better. Denver is a really interesting case to me. I think losing KCP was a big thing. You do have Strother and you do have Braun, but I'm interested to see how they can step in and kind of fulfill the KCP role. I'm interested to see how that goes. Also, granted, I know it was the Olympics, and it wasn't a regular team, but that Jamal Murray, like, listen. Now people are finally seeing what I've been saying. So I'm just very interested to see with that, and also Michael Porter Jr. I think I think he has to take a step to be able to do something else besides catch and shoot. Like, he got to work on his game and do something more besides catch and shoot. So I'm just interested to see, what Denver does, because again, I think losing KCP was a real thing. The Clippers, we can kind of discount them at this point.
At least they got a new stadium.
They got a new stadium, but I mean, we got to go watch James Harden throw lobs to Derrick Jones Jr., which is cool. But that's like,
it's not worth the drive to Inglewood.
Yeah, that's like 35 wins. And a team I'm also interested in is the Houston Rockets. Just to see what they do year 2 under Ime. I saw Jalen Green just signed a deal. Actually, a really, really good deal. We signed for I think it's 101 with a team option, with a player option in year 3.
Yeah, player option after the second. So he's basically like, yo, I'm gonna play for 2 years, prove myself,
and then try to
hit the unrestricted free agency market. And he'll probably be like 23, 24 still.
Facts.
In 2 years, which is crazy. Yeah.
And then Shane Goon, if I'm not mistaken, Shane Goon signed today. Was that correct?
No, I think they curved him, man.
They curved him. Well, anyway,
Shangoon, man. Yeah, they curved him, boy. He ain't
Shangoon.
Oh, no, I'm lying. He got 185. Sorry.
Yeah. Thought so. Yeah. Shangoon. Like, I'm just interested to see what that team could do. I think that could be a team that could realistically make the playoffs in this Western Conference. So I actually think the West is a pretty interesting conference, and there are a lot of storylines that I think we should all be paying close. So yeah.
I actually disagree with Scott in the sense that, like, I get it. The Mavs don't feel like a juggernaut to anybody, or OKC is like so much of they're very talented, but so much of the talent has been unproven. Like, these guys never been to the conference finals or finals or anything like that. But like everybody pretty much thinks they're gonna win 60-something games this year, which by definition makes you a championship threat. I think Dallas is gonna be a great regular season team, and playoff team. I just think Luka, having tasted it for the first time, I think he's finally understands what it takes to actually win at the highest levels. Not just getting to the finals, but getting their ass beat the way they did by the Celtics in the finals, where the Celtics were the execution team and Dallas looked sometimes like a deer in the headlights. That's going to be a great learning lesson. I do think Luka, man, is just the best dude outside of Jokic now. To me, Luka's the best player in the league because he's got the ball all the time. He's constantly making great decisions, matchup nightmare, and they've constructed a team that makes sense. Lively the second, I'm super high on him. I think like his defensive potential, I think he's got defensive player of the year potential in him. And I think, just being smarter in terms of when to deploy his height and his size as a center. I think that'll be, big improvement to his game now. Like, I think it'll be 2 or 3 years down the line where he's making like corner threes and stuff like that. But I think Lively, man, I really think he's somebody to watch this year, somebody who takes a step from being like, he's a player. He's obviously a rotational guy, like great, solid pick that you can get a starting center from his rookie year where they got him. But I think he's going to show himself to be like really, really a dude this season. I'm really, really high on him. And I think Phoenix, people don't notice they had the worst fourth quarter offense in the NBA last year. Their fourth quarter offense was worse than Charlotte's last year. Like that's insane, right?
He couldn't even be in the same conversation with Charlotte.
They like with the offensive talent that they have specifically. I think Budenholzer, if anything else, their offense is going to make sense. There's going to be a structure. There's going to be a pecking order. There's going to be an order of operations. You know what I mean? This year. And I think that's going to really take them to another level. Now, that level probably is like 53 wins type of thing. It's not like they're going to be some juggernaut, but I think they're going to be way, way improved. And, you know, in terms of Denver and the Wolves, I think the Wolves, to me, a lot of people saying, oh, like, they're going to fill in the Karl Towns production with Naz Reid upping his minutes and Julius Randle, which I think is on paper, that sounds good. But, like, Rudy and Julius and Jaden McDaniels, like those three people cannot play at the same time in a playoff series that you're actually trying to win. You know, and then DiVincenzo, who I think is probably going to warrant more minutes, you know, probably eking into the Conley minutes so he can be back up one, you know, probably some lineups where they're letting Jaden McDaniels or somebody play up to the 4 position so he can slide in at the 3 so he can actually play next to it. Like, they're going to have to get really creative with their lineups to get their best dudes in there. But I just continue to think like the Julius Randle thing is diminishing returns when it comes to the playoffs, right? So I can see why people think they took a step back. Now, Denver obviously took a talent step back. I think for me, speaking of the Olympics, like watching Serbia do what they did, to Team USA, where I literally thought the game was done.
It's over. Yeah. So did I.
And it's basically because they have the best player in the world just figuring shit out. Like, I don't know how they did this shit. I can't explain to you, like, oh, no, they did this to LeBron and KD, then Jokic. I can't explain how they damn near should have won that game, besides the fact that, like, in the regular season, I think they're going to have some troubles getting to, like, you know, the 3rd or 4th seed because they're going to be playing a bunch of unproven guys and getting them to, you know, become consistent rotation guys. But when the playoffs come, it's going to be hard for me to look at any Western Conference series and be like, yeah, they're definitely busting Denver's ass.
You're right.
What would I say that? I can't get there after watching Jokic put the fear of God in me. Because outside of the Mets and the Jets, you know, folks at home can stop laughing. There's not a lot of things that I like have rooting interest, like living and dying with the results. Team USA is one of those things where I'm just like, my week, possibly month, was about to be ruined by this guy.
My year would have been ruined. My year would have been ruined.
Ruined!
Serbia?
This is how Steph and KD and Braun have to
Serbia
get sent off?
They get sent off by Serbia. We can have that on the American bingo.
Not by Serbia, G.
Yeah,
not by Serbia.
Not by Serbia,
G. If France is I, whatever. But Serbia, no, we can't lose.
In the semifinals?
This our interest. I was in there like, yeah, Brian. You know, for me to say that's nothing but country pride right there, nigga. Like,
bro, Embiid, when he had his little flurry, I was like, about goddamn time. Oh, I'm so happy we stole you from France or the Congo, wherever we stole you at. Like, bro.
Yeah.
So the fact that Jokic, man, in a do or die situation, bro, like, he's one of the scariest figures in sports, man. Yeah. And so I can't write the Nuggets off. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you know, in a series, like if the Nuggets played the Bucks or the Sixers or even the Knicks in a playoff series, I wouldn't be like, oh, nah, they're definitely the underdog. I'd be like, nah, I'm picking Jokic. You feel me? And so, like, I still believe the Nuggets are a dangerous team.
Real quick, I want to say. Also, the Spurs. I'm interested in seeing the Spurs. The Spurs have been doing generational tanking for the past 3 years. They're not as bad as people think they are. They have just been trying really, really hard to lose basketball games for a very long time. And
have you seen Sohan play point guard, Pavy?
Yes, exactly. Exactly. But G, I'm not believing Greg Popovich, who is one of the best coaches we've ever seen, actually thought Sohan could play point guard. You're trying to lose games, bro. You're trying to put your team at a competitive disadvantage. You're trying to lose games. You're trying. But bringing in Chris Paul, and again, if Wemby is who we think he is, which is a generational all-world, we've never seen no shit like this guy. Why can't they be a play-in team?
Yeah.
Why can't they? So a team
I just can't see a team going from 19 wins to 40.
40. That's a huge jump, bro.
Shit. If the man fucking LeBron, Ralph Sampson, goddamn KD are all rolled into one, why not?
You bring a good point. Also, I think there's any conference to
Ralph Sampson is out of pocket. You're out of pocket.
Like I said, we gonna throw Ralph Sampson there.
So cool. Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news, money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not